It's Tuesday, October 29, 2019. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. Floyd Green is calling for more investments to be made in the area of research and development in the local cannabis industry. The state minister in the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries wants to see more dispensaries as well. Addressing the official opening of Docks Place Wellness Center and Apollon Pharmacies, Jamaica, Green pointed out that proactive steps are being taken to fast-track the license approval process by the Cannabis Licensing Authority, the CLA. According to the Agriculture Ministry, data indicates that cannabis companies with industry-leading research and development teams are not only in the best position to advance their collective understanding of the many therapeutic uses of cannabis, it's also able to design and produce innovative cannabis products, which sets them apart from their competition. Apollon Pharmacies, Jamaica, specializes in legal production of medical cannabis-based pharmaceutical products. Through Docks Place Wellness Center, Apollon is able to facilitate the treatment of patients living on the island, as well as international patients traveling to Jamaica. Employees of the University of the West Indies Mona campus now have access to paternity leave. UAW President Lambert Brown says men will be granted 5 days leave shortly before or after the birth of a child, with the possibility of extension for a further 5 days. This development follows the signing of an agreement by the UWI and the University and Allied Workers Union, the UAWU. He made the disclosure during an interview on Power 106. Residents in Manchester are being reminded that it is an offence to block public health inspectors from entering their premises to carry out their functions, and that they can be fined a maximum $1 million. Persons who do not take steps to rid their premises of mosquito breeding sites can also be prosecuted and charged a maximum fine of $500,000. Chief Public Health Inspector for the parish, Charmaine Palmer-Cross, made the reminder as she disclosed that vector control workers have encountered challenges in their duties to identify and destroy mosquito breeding sites in some communities. People who use the internet are being urged to exercise caution once they log on. Minister of Science, Energy and Technology Favour Williams says people must always bear in mind that cybercriminals are watching social media posts to piece together significant information, including phone numbers, pictures and addresses. The minister pointed out that this information is usually sold or used to blackmail people for money or even lure unsuspecting persons into situations that are usually life-threatening. Mrs. Williams was speaking during the recent Manchester leg of the Cyber Security Awareness Month Road Show. The minister emphasized that it is important for government to take the lead in informing and educating the public to avoid pitfalls. This, she says, is being done through Cyber Incident Response Team CERT. They're located at the ministry and are primarily responsible for increasing awareness among the population about cybersecurity and ensure that our systems in Jamaica are safe from attack. Mrs. Williams also highlighted the dangers of human trafficking, for which the internet is the main tool used by persons who attract unsuspecting victims by promising them jobs and other inducements. Unrest is growing at the University of Technology as hundreds of academic employees have ignored calls to return to work. UTECH students are now complaining that they're being affected by the strike, which started on Thursday. Classes at the university were suspended again on Monday. The UTECH academic employees are protesting the non-payment of retroactive salaries. The man charged with the murder of former Portland Eastern Member of Parliament, Dr. Linvale Bloomfield, will have to return to court at another date because his trial was delayed Monday in the Portland Circuit Court. Simeon Sutherland's attorneys have complained that he would not get a fair trial if the case is tried in Portland and want a change of venue. November 22 has been set for them to apply to the court for a new location. Dr. Bloomfield was found murdered at his Paisley Gardens home in Portland on February 2. The US dollar on Monday, October 28th, ended trading at Jamaican $138.67, down by 13 cents. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary. The Canadian dollar ended trading at Jamaican $106.24, down from $108.53, while the British pound sterling ended trading at Jamaican $175.49, down from $178.14. In regional news, we look to Trinidad and Tobago. The head of the Islamic Front is calling on the country's government to ensure Trinidadians in detention camp in Syria are brought home. The details in this CNC3 report.
Photos emerged recently showing the inhumane conditions that the Trinidadian wives and children are made to endure. Imam Umar Abdullah says their lives are in a precarious position as the security situation there deteriorates daily following the withdrawal of American troops.
They're starving, they're fearful for their lives because, remember, these individuals who have escaped, there are pro-ISIS people on the ground. And if they know these women and children who have spoken out against ISIS. So if they see them on the outside, they're most likely going to be killed. There is a possibility that some of our nationals could be sold as slaves to other countries, like Iran and so on. Isn't the government thinking about this? What about the persons the family members who are in Trinidad? Look at that woman who was crying last night on television. Look at the hurt.
Mr. Abdullah says the Islamic Front, as well as the families of those people, currently are exploring their legal options concerning government's failure to repatriate TNT nationals. He told us it's not clear exactly how many TNT nationals are trapped in Syria, since figures fluctuate between 25 and 90. But he's questioning why government maintains it does not know exactly how many people are still over there. He's also calling on the Foreign Affairs Ministry to be proactive.
When anyone is killed in Syria, the special branch here, they visit the family almost immediately and informs the family of what took place in Syria with their family or their relative, or as the case may be. It's surprising that the government will know this and have this information, and they're coming and telling the nation that they are unaware of the numbers and they're unaware of who the individuals there and so on. They were given, since in 2017, they were given the names and a list of names and so on. Families have been contacting the Ministry of National Security on a continuous basis, all right, and been calling upon the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and nothing serious has been done.
Over in St. Vincent, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves made several announcements at a celebration to mark the country's 40th anniversary of independence from Britain.
An increase in the monthly payout to welfare recipients topped the list of 20 announcements by Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves as St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Sunday marked 40 years of independence from Britain.
From January 2020, the monthly public assistance paid to the poor and vulnerable persons, numbering approximately 4,500, will be increased by $25. Thus, the recipients who are over 65 years of age will be paid $275 monthly, and those under 65, $250 monthly. Our profound commitment to the poor continues.
Gonsalves also said he expects that next year, the minimum pension paid by the state-owned National Insurance Services will be increased after the usual review. The Prime Minister also announced that his government will pay in December $1 million in allowances owed to nurses and nursing assistants. The final batch of 100 teachers awaiting graduate appointments having completed university degrees will be so appointed. Gonsalves told the thousands of persons who attended the parade in Kingstown that public servants who have obtained university degrees will be similarly appointed. The Prime Minister's announcements included the distribution of letters for the acquisition of titles to state lands and that several government projects intended to improve public infrastructure will begin soon. These include the Public Access to Village Enhancement (PAVE) program. Gonsalves also announced a $3 million road cleaning program for November and that $1.3 million from the Medical Marijuana Authority will go to assisting traditional marijuana growers who have been licensed to transition into the legal cannabis industry. Taiwan is providing a shipment of 5,160 sacks of fertilizer. The fertilizer will be distributed to farmers at highly subsidized prices to boost further agriculture production. Taiwan will also provide a US $20 million soft loan for the construction of a parliament and courthouse complex. The Prime Minister said that 4 Vincentian historians will be contracted to produce a government-funded textbook on the history of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The announcements also included the yearly editions of cultural and sports ambassadors, as well as duty-free concessions on Christmas barrels and packages. Kenton Chance, CMC News, Kingstown, St. Vincent.
In sports, the contracts of the national senior women's football team coaching staff may not be renewed. Jamaica Football Federation President Michael Ricketts has said that the JFF held a board meeting on Saturday, but its executive had not yet decided. The contracts of head coach Hugh Menzies and his assistant Lauren Donaldson expired at the end of August, 2 months after the Reggae Girls' participation in the FIFA Women's World Cup in France. Over to the pitch in cricket. West Indies master batsman Sir Vivian Richards feels West Indies cricket is at a crossroads. He says strategic long-term planning by Cricket West Indies is paramount if the sport is to rebound in the region.
There's a crossroads where our cricket is concerned. I think we need to get up the ratings. We got to find ways and means of doing that. The planning factor, not just basically for the series that we have ahead and the tournaments ahead, but also for the future. And these are things we got to take in mind.
And that's the news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom. Pleasant viewing.